first pick is on the line, Chris. We had a little segment earlier, a trivia contest. Who did you throw your first touchdown pass to in your career? The answer was Michael Clayton. Now the question is, for the first pick in the draft, who is the last person who caught a Chris Simms touchdown pass?
Whoa, that's what's like really weird. I'm a football historian, except when it comes to myself. I don't really give a damn about my own. Wow. Ooh, who is the last person? Hold on a second here. I'm gonna go with. I think it's Ike Hilliard.
Oh. Apparently, it was in the spleen game.
Oh, it was Joey Galloway in the back of the end zone.
Joe Galloway.
Yep, that's right. A little play-action pass. We were down close to goal line. I was already with a bursted spleen, but threw a dime. Threw a dime. That's all I could say. Bursted spleen or not, threw a dime. Touchdown. Yep, no problem.
Is it bursted or burst? I really don't know. Burst?
I don't know. Either way, it was all messed up. I know that.
All right, I got to go with Tom Brady. He's clearly the most important. What he does this offseason, staying in shape, keeping the guys together, all the workouts that he will arrange and gather the players to have them ready to go when they are back on the field officially, whenever that may be. Offseason program, maybe not. Training camp, most likely. And the influence he'll have in keeping guys there and convincing Gronk to stay, convincing Antonio Brown to stay to the extent that someone else may be interested in him, keeping other guys around, and if anyone leaves, luring replacements and upgrades to Tampa. They're going to be in a great position to repeat because he is going to want that. Some will say, well, okay, yeah, you got lucky this year. If he could do 2 in a row after leaving New England, there's no luck involved, and he's going to be even more determined, I think, to win it this year than he was last year.
Well, he's certainly important. There's no doubt. Gosh, the way he's played, what to expect of him this next year at that age. And you're right, he's going to have, something to say about how that team is built or stays together here as far as free agency is concerned because, everybody who might be looking to go, I don't care, I'll want to play on a team and I'll take less to go play on a really good team. They're going to look at Tom Brady and the Buccaneers as like, that's the number one team I'd like to go to, and that's, of course, the Brady effect. So I hear you there. I'm going to go to a GM. I'm going to go to the GM of the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to go to Scott Fitterer because they're looking for a quarterback. They're looking for a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater's unfollowed them on social media. He knows he ain't coming back. They're going to do something. And I look at that to go, what happens? Are they going to make a move in the draft? Are they going to trade up? Are they just going to sit where they are and take who comes to them at quarterback? Or are they going to make a move here, and get a guy that's more established, that's already, a player in the NFL, a la Deshaun Watson? So to me, that's one of those I look at because if they do get a Deshaun Watson or, some sort of a proven entity there, that is a team I would look at, like we talked about earlier. I just go, watch out. There's a lot of pieces in place there to think they could be one of those teams that jump right into the playoff scene here in 2021. So I'm going to go with Scott Fitterer.
Yeah, and I had David Tepper on my list, same reasons. I feel like he's the driving force behind this. Fitterer is the one who's going to make it happen. Tepper is the one who is saying, do it, do it, do it. Remember, Fitterer came from Seattle, so you never know when that well-timed phone call is going to happen to John Schneider if the relationship between Russell Wilson and the Seahawks deteriorates over the course of the offseason. That is to be determined. Next one for me, Sean Payton. I know Mickey Loomis is the GM of the Saints, but Sean Payton is the guy who gets what he wants. He shops for the meal, shops for the groceries, and cooks the meal, Bill Parcells style. He's going to have to figure out which ingredients he can throw out of the recipe and still cook a meal because of that cap situation that they have. Who do they really need? Who can they do without? Can he talk guys into taking less? What's he going to do at quarterback? These are all things that are going to be within his purview, and those decisions are going to go a long way toward determining whether or not this Saints team is still going to be a major factor both in the division and in the conference, Chris.
Yeah, I hear you there. I really do. Listen, I'm going to go the same angle there. I was going to just go with the Saints quarterback. Just whoever's the Saints quarterback. That, to me, is going to be one of the important things of the offseason. Who is that going to be? Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, who's it end up being? And then how do they, like you said, formulate that team around them? So I am going to still go with that because I don't know. That's what I was going to pick anyway. So I'm just going to ride with it. But either way, like we talked about too, this is one of the best teams in football. They're set up. So now it's, okay, how can they set up whoever that's going to be as their starting quarterback, and where do they go from there? And I just look at that to be certainly like a monumental thing as far as dictating the NFC South and the NFC in general.
For my next one, I was going to go one way, then I decided to go the other way, and then I remembered what Rich McKay and Arthur Blank said when they had a press conference after firing their last GM and head coach, that basically where they go from here is going to be up to the GM and the coach. So I'm going to tie Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith together, GM and head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. They got some big decisions to make about the present and about the future. And we've heard the reports that they're going to keep Matt Ryan, they're going to keep Julio Jones. Either way, they're in a cap mess. Fontenot made the rounds last week suggesting they're targeting quarterbacks. Are they going to bring in a young guy in what would be then Matt Ryan's last year or maybe two with the Falcons? How are they going to make this work where they have a team that's good enough for now but that is building for the future? They're in kind of a weird spot because they're not far off from contending with the guys they have. The question is, how quickly are they going to pivot to new guys? And Fontenot is going to be the guy who's out there looking for the players. Smith is going to be the guy who's going to have to find a way to make it work. It's not going to be easy to have a clear vision for where the Falcons are. I think of all the teams in the NFL, I'm most confused about what the vision for the Falcons currently is, Chris.
I would agree with that too. I'm not sure where it's going to go. I think it's going to be a big, formula change on the defensive side of the ball, like you talked about with Dean Pease. You're right. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, they certainly, in my mind, they could have been justified in, shopping them, maybe moving on to a new era, anything like that, definitely. So that will be, very, very interesting to watch as we move forward. So I hear you there. That was going to be my next pick, actually, and now I'm stumbling on what I want to quite do here.
4 teams.
I think. What'd you say?
4 teams, not hard. 4 teams.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. That's why it's hard is because I want to be a little more versatile in our picks. But I still think when it comes down to it, I'm just going to go with a general thing here. The Bucs free agents, their own free agents. I'm just going to go that way because, again, they're the Super Bowl winning team. We know that. They got a very intriguing free agent list with some of those football players.
Which one's the most important? Which one's the most important? Which one do they have to keep?
Shaquille Barrett. So if you made me name one, I'm going with Shaq Barrett. That's the guy, definitely. So if we want to put one on our graphic, that's right. Shaq Barrett's the guy I look at that will sway my thought of them a little bit if he goes. If he leaves, I'll go, well, that defense is still really good, but is it awesome still? I don't know. Or who are you going to replace with him? So I do look at him as being that, yes, that lightning rod piece in free agency for them that they have to keep, but let alone their free agency, I think can, of course, some of those guys leave. They're going to help out other teams, everything like that, and it'll dictate how much of a stranglehold they have on the South and the NFC in general.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.